Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be showing you how to colour this celestial sunshine in a bronze effect in the book Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford. I'm using Prismacolor pencils and this is going to be our highlight shade, it's Eggshell. So this is going to go over all of the areas where the light would hit. So the apples of the cheeks, some of the forehead, the chin, the bridge of the nose, and just around the edge, just to make it have that lighter edge that gives the three-dimensional effect. It's hard to see because it's such a light colour, but this is exactly where I've put the eggshell colour on the face. So you can see every single section outlined, and that might make it easier for you to colour if you're colouring along with me. Now I'm using the chocolate coloured pencil to do all of my shadow areas. So these are the areas of white that are left on the page, but don't colour right up to the eggshell because we still need a bit of room between the two colours to get from a really dark colour like the chocolate to a really light colour like the eggshell. So just leave a little bit of space, but the best thing I can recommend if you're colouring something metallic is to look at reference photos. I was using this photo for reference when I was colouring this, and just try to emulate and mimic where the shadows are on the reference, and it should be a whole lot easier than trying to figure it out yourself. This is harder to do, say for example, if you were doing a skin tone and you were copying from a reference, because unless that reference is really high contrast, it can be quite difficult to discern where the shadows and highlights start and stop. But when it's something metallic, that's quite easy because there's naturally quite a lot of high contrast with metals. So that's one really good tip I would say, is just get a reference photo, or you can just follow along the colouring tutorial. But if you're doing something similar in the future, yeah, definitely get yourself a reference photo where those contrasts are really high. So with the chocolate, I'm just going in, I'm creating an outline all the way around the sun, but keeping the edge for the eggshell. So you'll see there's a little gap, and that is what makes it look rounded, if you've got that little gap of shine all the way around. So I'm just creating that gap now and going around with the chocolate. As you can see, I've already put in under the cheeks, the chin, I've sort of shaped the chin a bit more into an oval shape, and underneath the cheekbones as well. So she's got really lovely, happy, chubby cheeks, and that's what I was looking for, to try and emulate the reference. Now you can start deepening up some of those shadows. Same pencil, chocolate, just going in a touch harder or a few more layers just to try and deepen those areas a bit. But don't burnish at this stage because we do have an even darker colour to come in later. This is just further enhancing the contrast, further mapping those shapes, and yeah, it just really helps to see what you're working with. If you just start to deepen them up a little bit, you'll start to get those shapes, those hollows in the face that you're looking for. So that's all I'm doing, just deepening up the shadows, and I will be coming in to start shaping the nose and eyes as well. So usually with the nose, I will just go straight from the bottom, then underneath the eyebrow area, so it makes a curve straight from the bottom of the nose and round the cheekbone up to underneath the eyebrow. So you've got this nice arc that goes all the way around from the end of the brow right round to the cheekbone. And then again, just keeping the line of the nose, don't worry too much about it at the moment, and curving underneath that eyebrow, making sure it's nice and deep and extended, and then bringing that curve right back round towards the cheekbone. Now underneath the nose, I'll just do two lines here. I think they call it the philtrum. It's the worst part of colouring a face for me. I always get it wrong. But basically I just do two lines and then just shape up the bottom of the nose a little bit, try and make it look a little rounded on the tip. Again, it's not something I'm super, precious about. I'll just go with the flow, and see what I can do. Just rounding off these bits under the nose as well gives it a nice rounded, chubby energy, which is what I'm going for. And then just going back in and deepening up some of the chocolate areas around the forehead. Now with the eyes, because they're closed, you would tend to see the light hit the centre of the eyes. So it's that bulge of the eyeball. And so I'm going around the edge with the chocolate, just shaping out the outline of that eye and leaving a nice big highlight area in the middle. Same again on the other eye, just shape the curve and leave a really big area for the highlight. I'm also going to enhance the roundness of the top of the brow, so the brow bone. So just join up the corner of the eye to the corner of the corner of the brow, just to make that look nice and rounded as well. A little bit more shaping just under the lip and around the chin area. So we've got a nice chubby chin. I think that really looks best when you're doing something like a celestial star or sun, because to me it always looks really chunky and chubby and rounded, and I love that effect. So that's what we're doing, just highlighting the contrast around the chin. Now I'm using the black raspberry pencil to deepen up those shadows. So we don't want to put it exactly over every area of chocolate. This is just going to go on the edges, the deepest areas of our chocolate. So the black raspberry is a good choice because it has some reddish... What's wrong with me today? It's got some reddish tone to it. So, I mean, you could use Tuscan red. That was just probably slightly too red for me. This one's a little bit more deep and desaturated. So, yes, black raspberry, and we're just going over the very deepest and darkest areas. So we don't want to go too heavy-handed with this. This is our darkest colour of the lot. So just use it sparingly to deepen up the contrast of our shadows. This is something like how it will look when you've done that. So you can see it's a lot deeper. I'm now going to come back in with the chocolate pencil and start to blur that black raspberry out a little bit. So we want a nice smooth metal look. So that's what the chocolate will do. It will smooth out all the harsh dark areas that we put in with the black raspberry, and it will also deepen up those shadows, those chocolate areas, so that we're starting again just to build contrast with every single pass. Burnt ochre is the next colour we're going to be using, and with this colour we are nudging closer and closer to that eggshell. I still want you to leave a little bit of a gap because we do have yet another colour to come in and bridge the gap, but the burnt ochre is going to start coming out from all the areas of the chocolate and just filling in a bit more of that gap as we come towards the eggshell. Here you'll see that I'm starting to put some pigment just above the left eye, and that's going to create, again, a look of a bit of shadow, a bit of shape on that forehead, so it's not just one big swathe of eggshell light all the way across. It helps again to create the roundness of the shape that we're looking for. Salmon pink is the last transition colour, so this should go beautifully into your eggshell. It also really warms up the tone of the metal as well, salmon pink. And again, it's just by looking at the reference photo that I've tried to discover what sort of tones and shades are needed to create the effect. And this salmon pink was, it might sound unusual, but it was the perfect blendy colour between the eggshell and the burnt ochre, just to again start bringing the warmth into the metal. So we already have warmth there with the burnt ochre, and the black raspberries warm as well, but this salmon pink, as you can see, it just adds something extra special, and it really helps bring out the orange, the golden tones of the bronze. I love this colour. It's one of the most underused colours, I think, in the Prismacolor set. So I'm just going everywhere where there is a gap between eggshell and burnt ochre, filling that in, and you'll get this beautiful gradient. I always forget some part when I'm colouring the face. Usually it's the ears, but this time it's the lips. So I'm going in with black raspberry. We're going to make the top lip slightly darker, so I've outlined that top lip. And then for the bottom lip, I'm just going straight in with the eggshell and fill in the top lip in with the eggshell as well. We'll just bring a little bit of salmon pink in to deepen that top lip. And then that's the lips done. It's very easy, quick, simple. It's a small space. We don't have to do anything with it. Just finagle with it, if that's even a word, until it looks good to you. But top lip, as a rule, always slightly darker than the bottom lip. Just a bit of chocolate now to create the definition around the bottom lip, so it looks nice and pouty, and we've got a bit more shadow around the lips themselves. Now we can come back in with the colour we started with, the eggshell, and start to burnish out all of the colour. So you'll get a really bright, warm tone when you begin to layer more eggshell, because it starts off really pale. We've used a very light layer, and now we've got that creamy golden yellowness of the bronze that we're looking for. So just blurring everything with this eggshell pencil, making sure that you don't have any glaring white bits, because even though that is a good idea because you colour in metal and you want it to have really stark highlights and you would have maybe a really bright white highlight, I kind of want this to look a bit tarnished as well. So there wouldn't necessarily be completely white highlights on there. That's why I'm leaving no white space. I'm just going straight in with the eggshell everywhere and around that little gap that we left as well around the edge. Time to deepen even further with the black raspberry. So again, just going to the very far corners of your shadow areas and really deepening up the contrast. It is a process. It's back and forth and blending and going from your lighter colours to your darker until you feel that that level of contrast is right. I just thought it was a little bit pale, a little bit flat. That's why I'm bringing in the black raspberry again to redefine all of those shadow areas. Every time I go back to the darkest colour, I will always come in with the other colours that are in the piece and just bring those back out as well. So I'll go back in with the chocolate, then I'll go back in with the burnt ochre and the salmon pink and then the eggshell. So we've definitely got all of the pigment on there for every single shade, and it's not been blurred out by anything. That's the thing, when you go in from dark to light, you will see that your light colour ends up smooshing over the darker colours sometimes, and it can take the saturation out of the darker pigments. So we're just going back in step by step, black raspberry, chocolate, burnt ochre, salmon pink, eggshell, until we're happy. One final colour I'm going to bring in here is the bronze pencil, and on those areas that are reddest, so the burnt ochre, the salmon pink, I just go over with a really light haze of the bronze pencil, because that takes some of the bright redness out of it and again just makes it look more metallic, more tarnished, and it just helps the overall look. It also adds that little bit of a green tinge that you often see in copper, bronze and some gold as well. Now we're going to work on the sunburst bits. So with the chocolate pencil, I'm going to go and draw a line right down the centre following the curvature of each section. So you can see this isn't a straight line, it's following the curves. I'm also going to make the bottom of the line a bit thicker than the top. So just making sure the bottom of that line is more thick. More thick, is that even a term? I think it's just thicker, Claire. Yeah, so make sure the bottom's thicker and it sort of tapers up to the top. I'm also going to outline the edges with the chocolate pencil as well. So just make sure you go all up the left side and the right hand side edges. Do this for every single segment. Now lightly fill in all of the white spaces with your eggshell pencil. It's time to deepen up the lines down the centre of each section. So get your black raspberry pencil, make sure it's nice and sharp, and just do a crisp line that flows all the way over the top of the chocolate line you created. It doesn't have to be as thick as it because it's just meant to be the very central, deepest part of it. So do a somewhat thinner line than you did with the chocolate pencil. Take your burnt ochre pencil and then start to thicken the chocolate line down the centre. So either side of that chocolate line, we want to be adding some burnt ochre because again, like the face, we're wanting to make sure we get tones that are in between the eggshell and the black raspberry. So we have to make it all blend nicely together. So we're going to do burnt ochre down the edges and also expanding that central line as well. Then we have our salmon pink, which of course blends into the eggshell beautifully. So we're going to further expand that central line until we meet that eggshell colour now. and also do the outlines as well. So we're basically sandwiching the eggshell in between the salmon pink and just trying to get that nice soft blend going. Just like with the face, now we've added some lighter colours on, those deeper, darker colours have become a little bit muted. So I'm coming back in with that black raspberry again to really properly deepen up the central lines. You can also do the outlines at this stage as well. So if you wanted to outline each section with the black raspberry, that will really start to crispen up the edges. Now I'm just making sure that all of my eggshell areas are fully burnished. So just going in with my sharp eggshell pencil and just making sure that it's nice and smooth. So you might see some areas where the salmon pink hasn't quite blended in or something like that. It depends how your page is looking. It's not going to look identical to mine. So just go in, use your discretion if you need to add some more burnishing, some more pigment in different places. And once you've done that, it's time for the bronze. So like on the face, everywhere that has some reddish tone to it, so the black raspberry, the chocolate, the burnt ochre, just add a nice light haze of the bronze pencil over the top. And you can see already, just with this one section that I'm colouring now, how it mutes the red just enough and it adds that little bit of green patina, whatever it is you call it, to make it look a bit more metallic. And there it is complete, everyone. So this is a photograph that I took outside in daylight so you can see what it looks like properly. When I do my videos, I've obviously got lights shining down on the piece and it can make it look a bit washed out. I think it's definitely a really good idea to take your photos outside when you finished a colouring piece, because it does show up the true colours of what's going on. The one thing I would do to finish this off is the swirls on the cheeks and the forehead. I would definitely be putting some glitter gel pen or metallic paint over those, and I will do that when I finish the piece. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed seeing how to create a bronzy type look. I hope you have fun doing it yourself. Let me know in the comments what you think, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon on Colour with Claire.